Evanescence frontwoman Amy Lee has never been afraid to speak about what she believes in, and this has gained her what I falsely believe is a reputation as being a difficult person in the music industry, and it may also have something to do with the fact that the band Evanescence has gone through a lot of lineup changes, and the band has also had their fair share of controversy. Today, I'm going to dive deeper into why she's been categorized as one of the most difficult women in music. A lot of the evidence against Amy Lee rides on the fact that two of her exes are also musicians who have spoken up about her and their breakups very publicly. But let's face it, when a couple is both in the public eye, things often end very messy. So let's get into the feuds and battles that Amy Lee has found herself in during the course of her 20-plus year music career. Things can get heated when you're willing to go head-to-head with one of the biggest rock stars of all time, and that's exactly what happened when Amy Lee spoke up against Gene Simmons. Here's exactly what went down. Gene was asked about his musical tastes in an interview with Gulf News, and he made a couple of pretty bold statements. The first was that, and I quote, "rock is dead," and he would go on to reveal that he actually prefers pop, hip-hop, and EDM these days. The second was that he called female-fronted rock bands, and I quote, "a genre." This comment in particular was really what got Amy going. She criticized his comments in an interview with Alt Press, with her reply being summed up as follows: "Everything else you ever say, I'm done listening to you. Eventually, the way we fix this is that people like you will no longer be involved in this community, and the young generation and trailblazers like all of yourselves will continue to support this message of don't female front me, that's not a genre." Did you guys know that the band's first album almost was never released after the label and Evanescence came up against creative differences? It's true, Wind Up Records, who also had rock group Creed on their roster, was insistent that the band needed a full-time male co-vocalist and that they wouldn't release the group's debut record 2003's Fallen without that condition being met. Amy Lee, however, dropped out of college to pursue the band full-time and had a lot riding on this. Yet, she told the label that she was willing to walk away because she strongly disagreed with their suggestion. It was during an interview with 93X Radio that she stated the following: "I was really against having any male vocals in our music. That was really hard, and it was an idea that came from the label. They came up with this idea about having something in there that would be familiar to listeners in order to get us on the radio. The band eventually compromised, and vocalist Paul McCoy was brought in for one song, the single Bring Me to Life, which was a huge hit. Amy and guitarist Ben Moody would meet as teenagers in Arkansas and officially formed Evanescence in 1994. Then about 10 years later, in 2003, they released their multi-platinum debut album Fallen through Wind Up Records. It was in a 2007 interview with the Santa Barbara Independent. Amy had this to say about the process of making their debut record: "Fallen really is a lot of compromise. It definitely leaned toward what Ben Moody wanted a lot of the time. Unfortunately, this was also the year that the relationship imploded for the group. Creative differences were a huge reason for the split, as Moody favored a more commercial approach, and Amy was more focused on creative freedom and artistic integrity. The relationship also turned toxic after many years together, as the musicians were also a couple." In a profile with Music Connection, Lee recalled a conversation with friend and future husband Josh Hartzler, who asked her if she was happy at the time, with her recalling, "I remember just looking down, kind of malfunctioning and saying something quick to change the subject, but it affected me." That conversation later inspired the songs Bring Me to Life and Good Enough from the group's 2006 record The Open Door. Lee would tell the Toronto Sun following Moody's departure, "Ben leaving the band was a really good thing actually, because I felt like the band was going to die if he stayed in it. We overcame the challenge of him leaving in the middle of the tour, and we became closer as a band. Ben and I were always butting heads, and there was always a fight. It just got to the point where he hated the band, he hated being on tour, and his negativity made everyone around him miserable." Moody has had his own explanation for the breakup, in which he shared in a 2010 interview with Spin Magazine, stating, "Sometimes you grow together and sometimes you grow apart. Amy Lee and I both contributed to the resentment of the deterioration of our friendship that quickly turned into a downward spiral of animosity, conflicting opinions, and a very volatile environment. By the time we went on tour to support 2003's Fallen, it sadly was over." When it comes to her breakups, Amy's kept mostly quiet in terms of speaking to the press and is more likely to use these experiences as a musical inspiration. Lee would soon find herself in a toxic relationship with Seether frontman Sean Morgan from 2003 to 2005, and it was during this time he was struggling with substance abuse. They recorded a song together in 2004 called Broken. Meanwhile, Evanescence was working on their sophomore effort, The Open Door, with Moody replacement Terry Balsamo. It was on this album Lee penned songs about both of her exes, including the track The Last Song I'm Wasting on You, rumored to be about Ben Moody, and Call Me When You're Sober about Sean Morgan. According to Morgan, he was particularly hurt about the timing of this album release, which happened just a few weeks after he entered rehab. He would have this to say in a 2007 interview with MTV Online. "The song has followed me around and haunted me, chipping away my reputation." In response, Seether would pen their own breakup song titled Breakdown from their fourth album that's rumored to be about Amy Lee. Amy Lee would be born in Riverside, California to a radio VJ father, and she would tragically lose both of her siblings, a sister and a brother. Her sister died young at the age of 3 from an undisclosed cause. She would lose her brother, who had epilepsy, more recently in 2018. Known for being one of the few women in rock without visible tattoos, she got her first tattoo to honor her brother, which consisted of 3 hearts on her wrist. Although adopted early on by fans of Christian rock, Evanescence quickly broke off from that reputation. After band members took the Lord's name in vain, chairman of Wind Up Records Alan Meltzer released a statement to Christian retailers telling them not to carry The Fallen anymore. The label even went as far as to cover the shipping costs for retailers to return copies of the album back to the label's office. And then in 2004, a strange story happened involving the band. A Maryland couple would file a class action lawsuit against Walmart after they heard the F word during a cover of the Korn song Thoughtless on the group's 2004 live album Anywhere But Home. And the lawsuit was resolved, strangely enough, by telling customers who had bought the album at that specific Walmart that they could return it for a refund. Former band members have also spoken out against Amy Lee, specifically guitarist Jen Majura, who was fired from the band in 2022. It's been suggested in online forums that the firing was because the guitarist shared confidential information with her fan club, including information about Lee's mental state and the location of where the group was staying on tour. Amy Lee and Evanescence would be sued by their former manager, Andrew Lurie, who claimed he was not paid proper commissions. He would manage the group from 2006 until 2015 when they were fired. It was during this time Evanescence released 3 records. The management company claimed they were owed $5 million in commissions, but were only paid $3.5 million. He took the band to court, and one of his craziest claims was that he was owed royalties on the group's first album, which came out prior to him managing the band, and he claimed he was owed royalties on their 2004 live album. In a funny twist, Evanescence would be awarded $1 million, but they wouldn't really pocket any of the money. Instead, most of that money would go to cover the band's legal costs. You might be wondering at this point, what actually happened to Amy Lee, and how did all these battles that she had to fight actually affect her? Well, it was after the group's 2006 album, The Open Door, Amy took some time off. Since then, the band has went to release 3 more studio albums, including 2011's self-titled record, 2017's Synthesis, and most recently 2021's The Bitter Truth. On why she needed the break, Amy would tell Louder Sound, "It's a very consuming thing. I love this band, but it can really consume your identity a little bit, and for me that was the case. I was feeling I'm the girl from Evanescence with all these expectations and responsibilities all day long, every day for the past 10 years, and I just needed to be Amy. I needed to be human, I needed to feel normal." She also found lasting love and started a family, marrying longtime friend Hartzler, who works as a therapist. She would give birth to her son Jack Lyon in 2014. Amy, for her part, never succumbed to substance abuse like so many other musicians who have gone through painful life experiences. In an interview with Louder Sound Online, she would explain, and I quote, "When you're hurting, you grab onto anything that helps. That's why addiction is so high in people who are grieving. Music has been that addiction for me, a positive addiction." From her early days impersonating the Amadeus movie, trying to play piano for her friends Upside Down, starting Evanescence with Ben Moody as a teenager, her passion and dedication to her craft as a singer and a songwriter is undeniable, even if you don't consider yourself to be an Evanescence fan. So let me know, guys, what do you think about Amy Lee after watching this video? Let me know in the comments section, and don't forget to watch our next video on Rock and Roll True Stories.